let me ask a question just to get your attention. Um, Opinion essays are formal or informal writing tasks? Please write in the chat box. Yes, it's a formal piece of writing for sure. Perfect. So I think you're familiar now how to write a formal piece of writing. So because we say it's a formal piece of writing, so it has some features. You know the features of using formal writing. Perfect. All of you answered. And you know the features as well. We will discuss this together today, and I will remind you of the outline of opinion essays. We will read an example, and the extra thing today, or the new thing that we will add, the new linking words and phrases that might help us in writing an opinion essay. So, an opinion essay is a formal piece of writing, and it requires your opinion. From the name, opinion essay, so you need to mention your opinion clearly in the introduction, which must be stated clearly, giving various viewpoints on the topic supported by reasons and examples. So you give your opinion, but you need to support your opinion with reasons and examples in details later on in your main body paragraphs. You should also include the opposing viewpoint in another paragraph. So how many paragraphs do we need? You need 6 paragraphs. Introduction and conclusion, and the 4 paragraphs in the middle. 3 paragraphs supporting your opinion with reason, your viewpoint with reasons and examples, and a 4th paragraph, you mention the opposing point of view. So how to plan it again? A successful opinion essay. If you look here on the right side of the screen, okay, you will find the plan here. So paragraph 1, state the topic and your opinion clearly. Main body paragraphs. Paragraph 2, viewpoint 1, that is related to your opinion with reasons and example. Paragraph 3, viewpoint 2 with reasons and examples. Paragraph 4, viewpoint 3 with reasons and examples. Paragraph 5, the opposing viewpoint with reasons and examples. Then a conclusion. And in the final paragraph, you summarize and restate your opinion in other words. You might say, I mentioned already my opinion in the introduction. Do I repeat it again in the conclusion? Yes, but in other words. Okay, so this is the outline. You're familiar with this. So let's continue. So an introduction in which you state your topic and your opinion. In the main body paragraph, it consists of several paragraphs. Each paragraph presents a separate viewpoint supported by reasons. You also include a paragraph presenting the opposing viewpoint and the reason why you think it's an unconvincing viewpoint. And you will mention that paragraph and you will reply to it. You will not only mention the opposing point of view, even in that paragraph, you mention the opposing point of view and you might write one sentence against it to still firm and stress on your opinion. Usually the opinion essays are called argumentative essays because you argue for your opinion. So you stick to it. Then you write a conclusion in which you restate your opinion with different words. So this is the outline on how to write it. There are some points to consider when we write an opinion essay. You need to decide whether you agree or disagree from the beginning, because any topic you have, you might agree with this opinion, or you might disagree. And this is going to be your opinion. So you might decide your side from the beginning with the subject and topic. Then make a list of viewpoints and reasons. So in the planning box or under the question paper, just make a list of viewpoints and reasons. This will help you a lot. Do you remember the discussion cloak and five lenses? It will help you to generate ideas. And we will have a lesson later about this uh, five lenses and discussion cloak and how to generate ideas for your essays writing. So you need to decide your viewpoints and reasons. You need also to write well-developed paragraphs. How to write a well-developed paragraph. As I said before, each paragraph starts with a topic sentence. And your topic sentence, it's a sentence at the beginning of your main body paragraphs, and it summarizes what this paragraph about. Full stop, details. Full stop, example supporting that detail. Full stop, another detail. Full stop, example supporting that detail or reasons. Then a conclusion. So this is called a well-developed paragraph. Joining the sentences with appropriate linking words, and I will stress on that today, and this may be the useful thing or the new thing, how to link these paragraphs with appropriate linking words and phrases in a formal and academic way. Do not forget to start each paragraph with a topic sentence which summarizes what happens or what the paragraph is about. It's really important. Linking words and phrases should also be used to join paragraphs with the other. It's not only inside the paragraph you shift from a sentence to a sentence using linking words. You can start a new paragraph with a linking word. Like if you're adding in the new paragraph, you can say furthermore, moreover. If it's an opposing paragraph, you can say however, on the other hand. So it links paragraphs together, not only the sentences in one paragraph. We will read an example. We got this example before. Okay, it's a good example, by the way. But we will read this example just to remember the outline or how this paragraph, how this opinion essay is developed. Then we will go on to the new part, which is which is the linking words and the phrases. So let's read the question itself. Hello, everyone, those who joined late. We're talking about opinion essays, okay, and how to write opinion essays. So although the position of women in society today has improved, there is still a great deal of sexual discrimination. Do you agree? We read this. Let me find another example that we didn't read, okay? So we can read it together and analyze it together. But before I read it, there are some useful expressions to give opinion. As I said, you need to write your opinion in the introduction. So how to express your opinion in the introduction? You can say, to my mind, to my way of thinking, it is my firm belief or my firm opinion or my firm conviction that, in my opinion, and this is the common one, my opinion is that I firmly believe I am not. Have you noticed that we do not write short forms? Because it's formal, so we don't write short forms. I am inclined to believe that, as far as I'm concerned, it strikes me that. So this is how to express your opinion. So who can form this sentence or write this sentence showing that if you agree or disagree? Can you please write in the chat box? Television have negative effect on society. Can you mention your opinion using these templates? Okay, to express your opinion on this sentence or not complete sentence. Just write how you're gonna form your opinion for sentence number one. Okay, I perceived some answers. Very good. Uh, Fatma Hani said, I firmly believe that television has negative effect on society. Fatma, you can say for many reasons. So now you form the thesis statement, opinion and the thesis statement. So I know now that in the main body paragraphs, you're going to mention the reasons for this opinion, which is television has negative effect on society. Maybe another student, like for example, Shahid said, as far as I'm concerned, television does have a negative effect on society for many reasons. Okay, very good. Thank you, everyone. So this is how to form your opinion, and you can mention your opinion in the introduction along with the thesis statement. Okay, sorry, just a second. So let's continue. Let's have a look at this topic and analyze it together. Cars enslave us rather than liberate us. Do you agree? So, some people, you have to decide first. Do you agree that cars enslave us rather than to liberate us? Some people might say no, they help us more, and some people say yes. But those who choose yes, they choose the more argumentative way because people will look at you, really? How? So they are interested in reading. So that this writer, for example, will say yes, cars enslave us rather than liberate us. And he will mention some striking ideas to your mind. If you think of it, you might say, yes, he's right. So let's see, for example, what he's thinking of. He has four ideas or four main body paragraphs. One, two, three, four. And these are the reasons and examples of why he mentioned that. Firstly, in the introduction, we need to write what? We need to write our opinion, introduce your topic, of course, write your opinion and your thesis statements. Look at the first reason. This person chose that cars enslave us. He agrees with that task. No, he did. He said yes, no, not no. He said in the first. This is the first idea. This is the planning part. He said in the first place, you must work much harder in order to afford a car. So you might work like what? But apart from your family may help you or you're rich or whatever, we don't care about this. We say you're a normal person and you want to buy a car. How many years it will take you to afford buying a car? Whatever, it may take you 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. In some countries, people might spend 5 or 6 years. So he says the idea that came to his mind, because not all the ideas are the same, we're different. He says, in the first place, you must work much harder in order to afford a car. So this is how cars enslave you, not liberate you. Can you choose one reason or example that support this point from A, B, C, and D? Which one? Write in the chat box. A supporting detail or something that support this idea as an example. A or B or C or D? A, B, C, or D? Which one is supporting this? The answer is C. Yes. Thank you, Fatma. Thank you, Anashi. So that's to say cars not only expensive to buy, but cost a lot to run to. So you have to work more hours if you want uh, to work more hours, if you want to have a car and still be able to live a decent life. So this is the first point. Another point, he says, also people who own cars are always worried about their car being stolen or damaged. Um, I still remember when I bought a new car, my first new car, but it was brand new, yeah, not a used car. It was in my country actually, not here. Here I bought a used car. But in my country, I bought a new car. I was the first one to use it. The first week or the first month, every day I go down, I want to check my car is okay, my car is clean, no one damaged it, no one hit it. So this is it keeps in your mind, especially your first car. This will happen with your first car. I'm not talking about your parents' car, your car that you used to. No, no. So this person getting some out of the box ideas. Look how he generates ideas. So he says people who own cars are always worried about their cars being stolen or damaged. Okay, which example that you can use to support this point to build your paragraph? Yes, perfect. D. Thank you, Fatma, for interaction. Thank you, Anashi. In order to cope with this worry, they have to install expensive alarm systems. And to make matters worse, cars owners have to avoid areas of city where cars get broken into or stolen. So you keep your car in your mind. So instead of liberating you and live, so as I agreed with you from the beginning, I've chosen the difficult answer, not the easy one that you talk about the advantages, of course. So I'm showing you that even if you choose a difficult answer, you might generate ideas to it. A third point that supports his point of view that cars are enslaving us, not liberating us, he says, I'm also of the opinion that the quality of life in our cities is made worse because of cars. How? How this happens? Because, for example, there are traffic jams all the time, which causes a lot of inconvenience, and the pollution gets worse every day. So the car is becoming a worse and worse place to live. So the city is becoming a worse and worse place to live. So these are the three ideas and the supporting details that that man thought of. But with the fourth paragraph, he included the opposing point of view that all of you have, that cars are good. They help us. What did he say? He says, cars enable you to go to places and do things that you couldn't otherwise. Otherwise means if you don't have a car. A supporting detail for that uh, is what? B. To be exact, you can take off for the coast or any other places at the moment's notice, and if there is no public transportation to the place, it doesn't matter. So this is one advantage he will talk about. So this is how to organize or how to plan your opinion essay. Is it clear for you now? The same linking words and phrases that I discussed in the previous lesson, which is the for and against, you can use it here. If you want to add information, if you want to add a contrasting ideas, the same linking words and phrases, you can use it. Clear? The last thing we will finish today's lesson with is this example. Although the position of women in society today has improved, there is still a great deal of sexual discrimination. Do you agree? Do you agree that women still don't have the same rights as men, although whatever they reached of rights nowadays? The example here says yes, women still need a lot. And I'm sure that the person who wrote this task is a woman. She took this side and really defensive about women. So let's see how she expresses her opinion and how she's gonna convince us with her opinion. This is argument. She's gonna argue for it. Okay, so let's read the introduction and analyze it together. Throughout this century, the role of women within society has changed, and the majority of people feel that this change is for the better. Look how she's tricking you. She says the majority of people believe that it's for better. Yes? More women work than ever before, and it's accepted in Western culture that many women now have careers. It's okay, no problem. Yes? Nonetheless means, however, in my opinion, there is still a great deal of sexual discrimination against women within society. And the belief that sexual equality have been achieved is not altogether accurate. And she's going to prove it in the coming paragraphs. Let's see how. So she introduced the topic, she mentioned her opinion, and she wrote a thesis statement that summarizes what she's going to talk about. To begin with, many women find it difficult to return to work after having children. Yeah, for example, if I have a baby, 2 days I will go back to work. Yes, maybe I'll be absent the day of birth. I will be with my wife in the hospital. Another day I might support her. I might take 2 or 3 days. But for women, after 2 or 3 days, can she goes to work? She says it's not fair, so no equality here. Let's see how she thinks. Many women find it very difficult to return to work after having children. The main reason for this is that there are rarely any provisions made for child care in the workplace. She says in the workplace, you will not have a place for the child care. In these cases, women are forced to find someone to look after the children while they are at work. She finds a babysitter she needs. Obviously, this can prove to be a time-consuming and expensive process. Yet it must be done if mothers are to be able to resume their careers. So all mothers now, if they have a baby, so they leave it with someone to take care of it. Okay? This is one point she discussed. Secondly means she's adding another point to this opinion that women don't have the same rights as men. Secondly, traditional views of the position of women within society are so deeply ingrained that they have not really changed. For instance, not only the view that not only the view that women should stay at home and look after their family is still widely held. Not only this is still widely held. You know, when you say, who will make the food today? What is the answer? My mom. Who will clean the dishes? Who will help you with the making the bed? Who? The first answer is my mom, not my dad. So she's discussing this point of view. So why society is looking at women in this perspective that she's the let's say the housekeeper. She's why not men also? You got my point? So apart from you're a man or a woman, this is her point of view, and she's arguing for this. Clear? So, but this is reinforced through images seen on television programs and advertisements. You always see that on TV, and this supports this point of view. An example of this is that few men are even seen doing housework on television, since this is traditionally thought of a woman's job. Okay. A third point Since families often need to incomes, yeah, nowadays in Europe and even in Arab countries nowadays, families need two incomes: the income of the father and the mother, or the husband and the wife, to enjoy a good standard of living. A woman finds herself doing two jobs, one at home and one at the office. So it could be said that women's position has in fact deteriorated rather than improved, with the result that women carry the burdens of equality but got nothing of the benefits. So these are the 3 points that the writer supported with examples and reasons. In contrast, look at how he shifts or how she shifts, because I'm sure this is a woman. In contrast, there are some people who claim that problem of sexual discrimination no longer exists. They point out that women do, after all, have the legal rights intended to protect them from discrimination. In addition, few women are now beginning to reach top positions like judges, business leaders, and politicians, while a number of other previously all male professions are opening their marks for them. Now, the final paragraph. But look at this. Look at the last sentence in the opposing paragraph. She's disagreeing, even mentioned the opposing point, and she's disagreeing with it. How? This, nonetheless, or however, these examples are not the norm. This is not the normal thing. And this discrimination is still very much with us. With us? I got you now. She's female, yes? Because she says with us. Have you noticed? Okay, she's one of them. Okay, taking these points into consideration, this is how to conclude, how to write your conclusion. I would say that the position of women has improved only slightly, while rules and laws have changed. It is the deep-rooted opinions of people within society which are taking a longer time to evolve. Needless to say, until these attitudes have changed, sexual discrimination will remain a problem which we all need to face and fight against. That's it. So that was an example of opinion essay, and gave you many details about how to write an opinion essay. The last thing in 1 minute, how to know that this question is opinion essay or for and against. As I said, for opinion essay, it's really easy. When I say, do you agree? What's your opinion? So I mention you. Or I say, to what extent? To what extent do you agree? Apart from that, I say discuss, evaluate, assess, uh, examine. This is a for and against. Clear, everyone? So I've attached also a file, a PowerPoint called For and Against Essays. And this book is useful. I've attached this book. You have it already in Google Classroom. And if you have any questions, you can write in the chat box. If you wait, I want to take the attendance first before you leave. If you have any question, write it, please. If you don't have a question, you can leave. No problem. Thank you, everyone, and stay safe.